Hey guys, welcome back to Pet Adventures, and today I'm doing a Q&A. Also, I've basically answered like all of these questions, but I figured some of you guys may have the same questions, so I can't do this without my Fritos. No sir. Do I breed my guppies, and if so, tips on how? I do breed guppies, but I mean, it's not like I sell them or anything. And also, like, it's not intentional. I mean, anyone can basically breed guppies. All you have to do is get a female, get a male. You can get a couple females, a couple males. And if you look in the tank long enough, you'll catch some fry. Most of them will be eaten, but you'll get some that haven't been eaten. So, and all you really have to do is when you catch them, put them in the little tub or any kind of small kind of container. Make sure you clean the water about like every other day. Should be every other day. Never let it go a week without being cleaned. And you feed them the Rapashi. It helps them grow really strong and really fast. And you give that to them like once every day. That's basically it. And you wait till they're big enough to go in your community tank. Can rats have Brewster's yeast? I know it sounds like a crazy question, but I remember reading Homemade Food for Pets. I haven't tried feeding my males brewer's yeast. I just got them this week. Congratulations on the ratties. And also, if brewer's yeast is the same as nutritional yeast, then yes. Very occasionally, I would give my rats like popcorn, some of my popcorn, and it would have nutritional yeast on it. But I mean, honestly, brewer's yeast, I've never heard of not feeding that to a rat. I've never seen it on the list of foods to not feed rats. So, in my opinion, if something isn't bad enough to go on the list that rats shouldn't eat, it should be okay. Because if you do enough research and you never heard of them not being able to have brewer's yeast, then it should be fine. And you know, you gotta remember there's more of a wide variety of things that they can eat rather than can't. So, I definitely tried brewer's yeast. If it's the same thing as nutritional yeast, then definitely yes, because I've fed that to them before. Good evening, MJ. Just watched your video on YouTube of leopard geckos. What was really good? Thank you. How do you tell the difference if they are male or female? The difference between male and female leopard geckos is super duper easy. I was able to tell Dagon that he was a boy when I first got him, when I first brought him home when he was just a baby. It's really simple. Basically, the males have like these little lumps in between their legs and the females don't. Yeah, that's basically it. Just look for some like little lumps. You can even try to touch them if possible. And you know, the females are basically just have nothing down there. So, are you still keeping up the good work? I've been vegan for 1 year and 1 month now. Not really, no. I am no longer vegan. I'm no longer on the vegan train, which sucks. I desperately want to be vegan, but the problem is, when I was being vegan, I had just recently quit my job. I know I told you guys that already. And I still had a lot of money left over, so I decided before I run out of money, I want to try to be vegan. So I went without dairy and meat for quite a while, and now I feel really bad that I'm not vegan anymore, to be honest. But to be honest, if you want to be vegan, you need to have money, and that's just the end of it. Like, you know, I want to associate being vegan with being happy with being vegan. I don't want to have memories of me being vegan and having to, like, give up all my favorite foods. And, you know, to make vegan a creative lifestyle choice, you have to come up with nice recipes that are really tasty, but also vegan friendly at the same time. And you don't have those options when you run out of money and you don't have as much money. So I'm just basically eating what feeds me, you know, and honestly the cheaper foods unfortunately are not the healthiest stuff in the world, as you guys probably know. But I was making vegan recipes for a long time, no dairy, no meat, and they were absolutely delicious. My boyfriend loved them, I loved them, and if I can make a living off of YouTube, if I can definitely make income on YouTube for a while, I'll probably in the future, probably in like a month or two, I'll probably get a job where I work like 2 or 3 times a week and then still do YouTube. And if I get enough money from YouTube, I'll just make YouTube my full-time job. And you guys don't realize that, you know, if I can do YouTube like all the time, I will definitely never, ever, ever go back to meat and dairy again, because I'll have plenty of money to make my vegan recipes, and I won't have to quit YouTube. That's the great part about it, is a lot of the jobs that I've had in the past, I felt like I had to quit because they were so outrageously bad. But I know YouTube's not going to be like that. I can just keep creating content that I love, and I won't ever have to quit. So I can pretty much be vegan for the rest of my life if I choose. So I will, when I make more money. What substrate are you using for your community tank? I just use regular sand. Yeah, I got it from like Home Depot a long ass time ago when I started my community tank. I think I started my community tank like a little bit less than a year, but something like that. Maybe it was a year ago. I'm not really sure, but I mean, I've had my community tank for a while, and I got the sand at Home Depot. I can't honestly tell you like if it was a certain type of sands because I don't really know. Hello, I recently got a rat. She likes to bite. She bites when she's in her cage and I try to get her out. I wear socks on my hand to prevent her from biting me and drawing blood. I hope she stops biting and we have a bond. She was the chillest rat at the pet store, and she was not scared and didn't run away. What are some good ways to show her that I'm not a threat? TY, love your channel. Feel free to talk about this topic on any live stream you're planning to have. Yes, my live stream will be on the 18th. So make sure you come on the 18th around 5. But yeah, what I would suggest is just keep wearing the socks on your hands anytime she's around, just for right now. And if you want her to really come out of the cage, just let her do it out on her own time, you know? Wait for her, open the door, let her come out of the cage on her own. Also, you want to make sure that she's completely used to your smell, so I would take an article of your clothing and put it in there in her cage. And she's probably biting because she really just doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know if you're about to kill her. She doesn't know where, like, all these surroundings around her are new. So, you know, she's probably just really worried about what's going on. Also, I would say give it like 2 weeks, maybe 3, depending on the rat, because most rats are always scared when they come home for the first time. That was not the case with Lucky. He ran around like, oh my gosh, I'm free, I'm free. But every rat's different, so just the most thing you want to do is have a lot of patience and just work with her. I bonded with my rats simply just by letting them roam around my bed and roam around in the bathroom while like I'm on my phone, and then eventually they'll sit on your lap, and you know, you let them come to you, okay? And you give them patience. If you think your rat is worth everything, just take a lot of time on them, spend a lot of time near their cage or near her cage, so that the rat can get used to your smell, and just let things fall, let the chips fall where they may, you know. Eventually she's gonna love you. You just have to give it lots of time. And like I said, don't make her do anything she doesn't want to do. If she's not ready to be picked up, do it another time when you think she may be ready. And anytime that she makes any kind of progress, reward her with a little treat, you know? Who doesn't love that? Can you do a video on how to tame mice? I am thinking of getting 2. Yeah, I mean, I definitely could. It really depends on the 2 mice you're getting. If you're getting 2 females, it should be fine, but if you're getting 2 males, I would really hold off on that, because any 2, in my personal experience, just my personal experience, when I've had male mice together, it's never a good idea. So get 2 females. You can even get a bunch of females. And yeah, I mean, I could definitely do a video on taming mice. It's fairly easy once you get to, you know, don't forget, winning the heart of a rat or a mouse, you know, the way to their heart is through food. So peanut butter is a great little thing. Give your mouse small portions of peanut butter, and you never know, things could really happen. Taming mice is it is basically the same way as taming rats, you know. Don't let them do anything that they're not ready to do. Give them lots of patience, and if there's any kind of progress, just reward them with their favorite treats. How often do I clean my rat cage? Like every week or month or what? Technically, I clean my rat cage at least 2 times a week. Yeah, rats are very dirty, so the bigger the cage, you know, you still would have to clean it like probably like twice a week. They get very dirty very fast. It's mostly the bottom level of my rat cage that honestly gets the dirtiest. But yeah, I do like twice a week. They're just really filthy creatures. but they are the sweetest thing I have ever had in my life. Other than Lucy. Someone asked, what kind of cage is my rat cage? My cage is basically just the rat starter kit that I got a while back at PetSmart. It's when I first got lucky, I got him a nice, the biggest cage I can think of. And honestly, if I were to get a bigger cage than this, it would not fit in my room. So this is literally the maximum amount I could get at the time. I mean, it's a starter cage, but you could keep this their whole life. Just make sure that your rats come out of the cage every day, once at least every day. And it has a plastic tray at the bottom, and the rest is just metal. And you can house 2 rats. I wouldn't really push it more than 2. If you're gonna get more than 2, I'd probably get something more, a little bit bigger. Do a second video on my morning pet routine. Oh, I definitely will. I'm glad you guys like that. I know that wasn't really a question, but it was a request, so I definitely could do that. I'm really glad that you guys like that. I mean, I'm also thinking of maybe doing my night routine and stuff like that, or my weekly routine. Please let me know down below if you guys want to see things like my weekly routine and stuff like that regarding all my pets. I have mice and they just won't become hand tamed. Had them nearly a year, and if I manage to somehow get them on my hand, they will jump off. Help. Well, yeah, that's tricky. I mean, it's possible that you just haven't spent enough time with them and you haven't rewarded them with treats. They're very smart creatures, so they know, if they're doing something right, that they're gonna get a treat, so they're just gonna keep doing something right. But honestly, it's just about spending time with them. The only reason why Brownie is really tame with me, don't get me wrong, he still bites me, but he has not bit me so hard to draw blood in a long time. The only time he bites me, when he bites me, he hates it when I rearrange his furniture. So he'll bite me, but he never bites hard anymore. It's just a basic way of saying hey, get out of my cage. But yeah, if you're trying to hand tame them, just give them lots of rewards. Take the time, lots of patience. And if you had them for a long time, it's possible you're just not spending enough time with them. You should at least go over to see your mice once a day and hang out with them. I go over to Brownie every single day, once at least every single day, to make sure he's okay, he has food, his water. And then I also play with him. I get him on my hand and I play with him in the bathroom, or I just let him sit on my lap for a few minutes while I'm on the phone. Any kind of bonding is gonna help. When it comes to mice, they are much more scared than a rat would be. So you really have to worry about, how, what steps you're taking. So when you want to get your mouse to get on your hand, just stick your hand in the tank or the cage, whatever you have, and just let it sit there for a few minutes. They'll start sniffing around. They'll get very curious. Mice are very curious. And just kind of let him see what's up. Eventually he's going to want to get on your hand and be like, hey, what's up? Do I have to use a lid for my tank or bin cage for the mice? Yep, I have a mesh top that you get at the reptile section. Any tips on making your new rats love you? I am bribing mine with treats, but they still don't like me. It really depends on how long you've had the rat. If it's only been a few days or a week, that's really expected for them to just be skittish or act out in aggression or anything like that. It's really expected. Usually when I get a new rat, I kind of see what their personality is like. Some rats are more social and they'll be more welcoming when they come home, and other rats will just be plain skittish and start hiding. Now when I brought Lucky home, he was ecstatic. He jumped on my boyfriend, he jumped on me, he was super happy about everything and he didn't care. And he's been like that since the day that we got him till now. Even now, he's super curious. He's never scared of anything. He's brave. But as for Oscar, when I first brought him home, he was scared of everything. He was scared of Charlie, scared of me. He was just poop, pee, scared, scream, everything. So it really depends on the rat and how long you've had it. The treats, if the treats aren't working, get something that motivates them more. I know that my guys will always do just about anything. I think they would even risk their life for a blueberry. Oh yeah. Also, leave the cage doors open so that they can come out. Just sit next to the cage, get on your phone and stuff, whatever, if you get bored, and just wait for them to come out on their own. This is a way to let them explore, but without them feeling pressured to get out. Because if they feel like you're taking them out, they don't know what you want. Like, you might, for all they know, you might be trying to eat them or something the next day. So let them do everything on their own. Patience, patience, patience is the key. And you know, bonding, like I said, all I did with all of my rats is I let them roam around the room. I let them roam around my bed, in the bathroom. I just stay on my phone and, you know, let them come to you. I mean, in no time your rats should love you. Another great way to bond with your rats, believe it or not, is trying to train them to do tricks. Now, after you've had them for like a month, if you want, you can start training them to do tricks. You don't want to do this when they're like babies, but you don't want to do it when they're too old either. So mid-age, a little bit under a year, you could try to, you know, just the fact that you have to be with them every day to get them to do tricks is really a good bonding process. Someone asked if I will do cage tours. I could. Just leave me down comments below letting me know what kind of cage tours you want to look forward to. You know, like, you know, real cage tours that you want to see for most of my animals, and I'll get to it. You know, I got lots of animals sort of, so I can't pinpoint exactly all of them, so one at a time, you know, it'll happen. Someone said, what kind of animal is Igor? Ig is something called a Cuban night anole lizard. Soon he should be going to the vet. He's got a little tail problem, so I'm gonna get that cleared up. But yeah, Ig is just a Cuban night anole. He is the biggest species of anoles. The anole lizards are the little tiny lizards that you see running around all of Florida. They're from Cuba, but he is the biggest type you can get. He gets about 2 feet if you include the tail full grown. But they're really cool lizards. They're not the best beginner lizard. So, and they're also not that you know, like famous like a bearded dragon or anything like that. And if you guys want a more in-depth like care video on him, I can do that. Just let me know down below. And I mean, he's a good lizard. I've had Igor for about 2 years, I want to say, something like that. And he's a cool lizard. Really, really cool. Now I'm burping. My bad. Quick question though. I'm hoping to get 2 kittens in the near future. Can you give me some advice for when I go to work and leaving them alone, etc.? And also where to let them go in the house. I haven't got a big house, but it's upstairs and downstairs, so what if I let them sniff around while I'm out? I don't know if they'll use the litter box. I don't keep them in one room though. I would say if you can, I mean, it really depends. It really depends on how old they are. If they're tiny, tiny kittens, like, keep them in one room. Do not let them go anywhere on their own. But if they're like 8 months or something, should be fine. You can let them sniff around. You know, kittens can get into all kinds of sorts of things. They can, you know, pee anywhere. They can chew on wires. They can get into so much trouble when they're super, super small. They can just hurt themselves. Like you said, you have an upstairs, downstairs area. So if they're really, really, really small, then you need to keep them in a confined little area where they can have a litter box, food and water, toys, maybe a window if possible. And just let them stay in that room. It, you know, only if you're not around. If you're around and you can supervise them and check up on them, you can let them sniff around the house. And sorry, I can't talk properly. But yeah, if they're like 8 months, they should be fine. Around 8 months, I think Lucy started to kind of be okay on her own. Alright guys, that's all the questions we have for today. If you have any questions, just leave some comments down below and I will be happy to answer in the next Q&A. If you have any questions about my pets or pets in general, just let me know down below. And I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!